collectively known ng test po. Tapos, alam ko po kasi after meal po, tumataas agad yung cholesterol po sa katawan and then increases now your different LDL and VLDL po.
Okay. Okay. So, the idea is there. Okay? The idea is there. But it isn't actually the cole. Okay? Kasi kung if you're reading the PowerPoint now, bullet number 2, total cholesterol and HDL cholesterol levels can be measured in non-fasting individuals. So meaning to say, cholesterol is not affected by fasting. But there is another component of your lipid profile that is affected by your fasting, which is your triglyceride. Bullet number 3. Triglyceride is the one that needs fasting requirement, that requires fasting. It is your triglyceride and your LDL cholesterol that needs fasting. Okay? That needs fasting. Sir, bakit po? Remember your chylomicrons? Your chylomicrons carries the triglyceride from your diet. Okay? Carries the triglyceride from your diet. So meaning to say, usually your chylomicrons will start to clear out within 6 to 9 hours. Okay? Within 6 to 9 hours. So having said that, you need to fast para ma-clear out muna sa dugo mo yung chylomicrons na may daladalang exogenous triglyceride. Are we clear? Okay? So, in fasting, let me go straight to the fasting na muna. In fasting, okay, for fasting patients having your lipid profile, they need fasting to eliminate the chylomicrons in the blood. Okay? Kasi nga, di ba, sabi ko sa inyo kanina, the one that we are measuring are the cholesterol, triglyceride, and then the VLDL, LDL, and LDL. Which means, okay, if I will be more specific pa, okay, para sa inyo guys, the triglyceride we're trying to measure in lipid profile is endo or exogenous? Or both? Endo, exo, or both? Ang sagot ni Adrian, endo. O may magre-rebat ba dyan? Endo, exo, or both?
Sir, pwedeng paulit po ng question?
Ano yung kinik? Ayan. O, lahat ng choices may sumagot. Okay. So, ang question ko, in the lipid profile, specifically what type of triglyceride are we measuring? Endogenous triglyceride, exogenous triglyceride, or both? May sumagot ng endo. May sumagot ng EXO. Hindi ko alam kung EXO to na K-pop group na nila Sehun, nila Dio, or kung sino man. Or may sumagot naman both. The answer is endogenous. Okay? The answer is endogenous. The answer is endogenous triglyceride. Bakit, sir? Kung mapapansin ninyo, okay, kaya ka nagkaroon ng fasting is to eliminate your chylomicrons. Hence, if chylomicrons is already been metabolized inside your body, ibig sabihin, pati yung triglyceride na dala-dala niya, na-store up na. So what we're measuring in lipid profile is your endogenous triglyceride. Okay? Your endogenous triglyceride. So, I hope we're clear. Okay, let's try to patch things up. Okay, baka may naloloka na sa fasting pa lang. Wala pa ako sa test, guys, ha? Pero alam nyo kung bakit I am spending more time here in fasting, because even when I was in practice, a lot of people are actually confused onto why fasting is required for lipid profile. Okay? Kasi akala nila kaya ka magpa-fasting dahil kay kole. Okay? Which is the common notion. Kasi nga, pag lipid profile, ang chine-check natin, di ba, yung cholesterol ng tao, ganyan-ganyan. But to be honest, if we're going to be talaga, the one that requires fasting is your triglyceride. Okay? The one that requires fasting is your triglyceride. So, unang-unang nangyayari, ayun nga, 'di ba? Yung chylomicrons mo dala-dala ni yung exogenous triglyceride mo dala-dala ni chylomicrons. So you start to clear that out, kaya ka may fasting. And so what you're going to measure during lipid profile is only the triglyceride. Gusto niyo ng clue? Kaya sa lipid profile walang chylomicrons. Nakita niyo VLDL lang nandun. Kasi ang VLDL lang yung mini-measure natin na type ng triglyceride. Okay? So, clear ba ako sa part na yun? So, again, with regards to fasting, your LDL cholesterol, okay? Your LDL cholesterol and then your Sir, bakit mo tinatawag na LDL cholesterol? Kasi yan yung nandyan sa bullet. LDL cholesterol or your LDL and your triglyceride both requires fasting. And then your cholesterol and then your HDL do not require cholesterol. Do not require fasting. Okay? Do not require fasting. So, having said that now, the NCEP, okay, or the National Cholesterol Education Program, hindi nyo naman na kailangan i-memorize yung ibig sabihin ng NCEP. Okay, Adult Treatment Panel or ATP3 has recommended naman the patient to fast at least 9 hours. This is based on the clearance time for your chylomicrons. Okay? So, guys, clear ba ako? Clear ba ako? Okay. I get that feeling kasi sometimes I'm worried kung nagigets pa ba ako. And do not be offended if I ask you that. Kasi ayoko mag-move on na hindi nakakagets ng sinasabi natin. Okay? Para clear tayong lahat. Because habang nandito ako na can address your concern, we can address the concern. Kasi I know you can watch the video back naman, pero iba pa rin kasi kapag, naki-clear out na siya head-on during the discussion. Okay. So, yun yung sa fasting ha, 10 to 12 hours, the fasting is for the triglyceride to clear out the chylomicrons. Okay? Next is your posture. So, remember when we were discussing when we guys are discussing about your patient preparation, we did discuss that posture changes also affect the levels of some analytes. And one of those are your cholesterol. Okay? So for patients who are standing that are transferring to a reclined position, there is a decrease of as much as 10% in the concentration of those parameters being measured in the lipid profile together with ApoA1 and ApoB. Question, ApoA1 is from what HDL? Nasabi ko. Okay. ApoA1 is from HDL. ApoB100, what lipoproteins? ApoB100. Anyari. ApoB100 is from VLDL, well, yeah. And what else? B100 is also from LDL, correct? VLDL and LDL. B, ApoE. LDL daw, ApoE. VLDL. ApoB48. B48. ApoB48 is from chylomicrons. Okay. ApoB48, Apo Hiking Society. Okay, wala po 'yon sa lipoproteins, okay? So, iba na po 'yon. So, let's start with posture, okay? So, 10% yung 10% decrease siya, okay? For cholesterol, okay? Specifically yan, TC, LDL, HDL, but tignan nyo to. For triglyceride, it can decrease as much as 50%. Okay, so from standing to reclined position, almost 50% yung decrease for triglyceride. That is the reason why the NCEP, okay, the NCEP guideline recommended patients to be seated at least 5 minutes before sampling to prevent hemoconcentration. Okay? 5 minutes. Okay? 5 minutes. So that is for the that is for the posture. Okay? So are you guys like copying? Hindi naman, no? Yung notes na lang. Sana nag-annotate na lang kayo ng ano. Mag-annotate na lang kayo, ha? So, ay nagka-copy daw. Okay. Jane, meron akong pre-provide na PowerPoint for this. As early as last Monday, kahapon pala, na send na yon sa inyo. Okay? So, wala lang. License ko lang yun mag-shift ng PowerPoint agad. Okay. So, moving forward, with regards to venous and capillary samples, simple. Capillary blood has lower lipid profile, lipid concentration compared to your venous samples. Okay? Compared to your venous sample. So lower sila. So ayun lang. So next thing is that what with regards to serum and plasma. Okay? With regards to serum and plasma, siguro this would settle it. So, with regards to serum and plasma, I just want everybody to remember that both plasma and serum can be used in the measurement of your lipid profile. Okay? Both plasma and serum. So, plasma or serum can be used when only total cholesterol, triglyceride, HDL are being measured. Yung LDL is not measured. Yung VLDL is not measured. Sir, pero ba't kasama sila sa lipid profile? Because they are calculated. Okay? They are calculated. Later, wag kayong mag-alala. I'll have a separate discussion to that bago ako pumunta dun sa different methods. Okay? So, with the measurement of your total cholesterol, triglyceride, and your HDL, plasma or serum can be used. But again, remember, gaya nung sabi ko nung sa glucose tayo, most laboratories are accustomed in using your serum. Okay? Kaya madalas, serum yung ating ginagamit. Okay? So, what about your lipoprotein? So when I say lipoproteins, these are for your electrophoresis and for your ultracentrifugation. For you to be able to identify and separate them, ano yung mas preferred natin na specimen? It is not your serum, but rather your plasma. Sir, why plasma? Plasma is needed, okay? Plasma is more preferred when measuring lipoproteins for ultracentrifugation and for electrophoresis. Sir, why plasma again? Okay, sasagutin ko na po. Why plasma? Because your lipoprotein are labile. Their lipoproteins need to be preserved. How do we preserve that? We use your anticoagulant, EDTA, your ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. Sir, what form? The usual, the K2-EDTA. Okay? The K2-EDTA. Sir, since you are saying plasma, why can I not use your citrate? Your heparin? Why can I not use that? To start with, your citrate affects the osmotic pressure in your blood. The osmotic pressure, okay, thereby disrupting your lipoproteins. Okay? Disrupting your lipoprotein. So meaning to say, hindi natin na-preserve yung integrity ng lipoprotein. So nasisira na siya bago ko pa i-measure using my ultracentrifugation and my electrophoresis. Sir, what about heparin? Hindi ko ba pwedeng gamitin si heparin? Heparin cannot be used, okay? Heparin cannot be used, number one, because your heparin causes change in the electrophoretic mobility of your lipoprotein. Okay? Again, let me repeat that. Your heparin cannot be used as an anticoagulant for lipoprotein ultracentrifugation and specifically for electrophoresis because it changes their electrophoretic mobility. Okay? Nagigets ba ako pag sinabi kong changes the electrophoretic mobility? So, ibig sabihin, imbis na si alpha yung nandun sa alpha, iba na. Nakukuha po yung point. Yun yung, that's with regards to that. Okay? So, what was the question, Jane? Ano yung sir? Miss Navarrete, what's the matter?
Sir? Sir? Hello?
Yeah.
Wala kasi sir, na-DC po ako kanina nung nasa Venus lang po. Baka ulit. Wala naman po kayong info na binigay. I mean,
Wala.
add-on.
Yeah. Venus, yung capillary, yun lang. Lower lang yung capillary sa Venus. Yan lang.
Okay po. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's move forward to the storage. Okay, let's move forward with the storage. So, blood sampling and storage. So, remember this, guys. Okay, remember this, that when serum or plasma, serum and plasma can be stored. No, serum and plasma. Yeah, serum and plasma can be stored for long period of time. So, when I say long period of time, more than 2 months. Okay, more than 2 months under negative 70 degrees Celsius. Okay? Negative 70 degrees Celsius. For short term naman, up to 1 to 2 months, sabihin na natin 1 to 2 months, you can keep it at negative 20 degrees Celsius. Okay? But for most lipid cases, like for example, meron kang delay in the testing, you can actually store them at 4 degrees Celsius. Okay? At 4 degrees Celsius, there will be no changes in your lipoproteins. Okay? There will be no changes in your lipoproteins. Kasi yung lipoproteins mo can change over time at room temperature. Okay? So, you can have that stored at 4 degrees Celsius for short period of time. So, pag sinabing short period of time, baka gusto nyo akong i-technical. So, pag sinabi kong shorter period of time, kunwari, di ba, according to patient preparation, yung diniscuss natin, within 45 minutes, dapat na-process na, na-separate na, and within 2 hours, processing should be finished. So, if longer than 2 hours, but less than 1 month, okay, less than a week, pwede naman siya sa 4 degrees Celsius. Okay? So, are we clear so far? Hello, are we clear so far, guys? Okay. So, in your PowerPoint, the next thing that I will be mentioning is already about triglyceride measurement. But first, let me settle in your lipid profile. Okay? Let me settle to you guys what lipid profile is all about. So, lipid profile, sabi nga natin kanina, okay, let me just share my screen para maano natin. Okay. So let's start, okay? Lipid profile, okay? Your lipid profile, sabi ko nga kanina, is composed of 5 parameters. Your chole, your triglyceride, your wait lang. Para maganda yung placing ng ating ano. Your HDL, okay? Your HDL, and then your LDL, and your VLDL. But Sir Ganding also mentioned a while back that these are the only analyte that are being measured. Okay? These are measured. So, to be exact, these are the one directly measured. These two, okay, are indirectly measured. Why? Because we only come up with the value of LDL and VLDL through computation. Alam na nila yung exam, may computation. Okay, through computation. Okay? So in the laboratory, okay, magkukwento lang ng mabilis. In the laboratory, we are measuring chole, trig, and HDL. For most of the laboratory, we are directly measuring them kasi ibig sabihin yan, meron ka talagang reagent pang measure ng mga analytes na ito. Nakukuha? Sir, paano po si LDL and VLDL? Long ago, wala pang reagent. That's why we are computing for their value rather than being measured. Okay? We are computing them. Okay? Although, okay, makikisulat po sa inyong mga although right now, your LDL in some laboratories, in some hospital, meron na silang reagent directly measuring your LDL. Okay? Directly measuring your LDL. Sir, sa lahat na po ba yan? Hindi pa rin. Kaya nga tinuturo pa rin hanggang ngayon how to compute for your lipid profile. Okay? Again, kaya tinuturo pa rin how to compute for your lipid profile. Sir, how do we compute it? Okay, how do we compute it? Please remember, okay? Please remember this formula. Okay? And we call it your Friedewald equation. Okay? Your Friedewald equation. Your Friedewald equation states that your total cholesterol is equal to your HDL, your LDL, and your VLDL. Okay? Okay, easy lang pala sir, plus lang. Pero what's the problem? LDL, kapag ito, transpose natin, makukuha natin is LDL is equal to total cholesterol minus HDL plus VLDL. Can I now compute for my LDL? Can I compute for my LDL now? The answer is no. Why? Kasi wala pa po yung VLDL ko. Okay? Wala pa po yung VLDL ko. Eh, saan po ba galing si VLDL? Anong dala-dala ni VLDL, guys? Anong dala-dala ni VLDL? Endogenous triglyceride daw, sabi nung nila. Kaya, okay, nakita ba natin, na-measure ba natin? Yes, na-measure naman natin si triglyceride doon. So, ibig sabihin, even the value of your VLDL is also derived, which goes in your Friedewald equation now as, ito, the Friedewald equation to be specific now is your VLDL is equal to triglyceride all over 5. Okay? Triglyceride all over 5. That is your VLDL. This is in milligrams per deciliter. Okay? Ano ba yan, sir? Milligrams per deciliter. So, ibig sabihin, iba pa kapag millimoles per deciliter. Millimoles, hindi pala deciliter. Millimoles per liter. Yes, okay. Pag millimoles per liter, okay, if we're talking about millimoles per liter now, iba naman yung niya. So, VLDL is equal to, this one is for millimoles per liter. So, your VLDL can actually be calculated now as what? Okay? We calculate it now with the following formula. Ba't hindi lumalabas yung ko? Triglyceride. Okay, ayaw po lumabas ng ating over lumalabas ba? Hello? Triglyceride over 2.175. Ayan, lumabas na ba? Hello?
Yes po, sir.
Ayan. This is for triglyceride pag millimoles per liter, and then pag mg per dl, okay, pag mg per dl divided by 5. To take for example, in the laboratory, you measured 200 chole, tapos yung triglyceride mo is 150, and then your HDL is 60. So you compute for your VLDL and your LDL, mabilis lang. Triglyceride divided by 5, that is 30, that is your VLDL. And then, to compute for your LDL, total cholesterol is minus HDL plus VLDL. So that is how many? So that is HDL is 60 plus 9 plus 30, 90. So the value of your LDL is 110. So ganyan siya kino-compute sa lab. Okay? LDL and VLDL. Are we clear, guys? Clear ba tayo? Hello? Okay. So that is for your triglyceride. Okay? So that is the Friedewald equation. Okay? Friedewald. Okay. So Friedewald, sabi VLDL is equal to triglyceride over 5 or 2.175. That is for, this one is for milligrams per DL, millimoles per liter. Okay? So depende lang sa unit. Okay? Depende lang sa unit siya magbabago. Okay? So, are we clear? Can we move on? Hello? Okay, are we clear? So, let's go now on how we measure each of our analytes. So, let's start with your triglyceride first. So, triglyceride can be measured through chemical method, okay? Through chemical method such as the following: your Van Handel-Zilversmith method, your Hans condensation method, your modified Van Handel and Silversmith method. So, all of these are chemical methods. Okay? All of these are chemical methods. So, the first part, okay, all of these are, tawag dito, chemical method. Sir, ano pong pinagkaiba nila? With regards to the measurement lang, okay? With regards to the measurement. So, all of them, okay, all of them has a generalized step for chemical method, which is number 1, extraction, okay? Number 1 is extraction. So, lahat sila, okay, yung lahat ng tatlong minention ko, itong tatlong to, your Van Handel, your Hans condensation, and the modified one, all of them pare-parehas ng step except for the measurement. Okay? So, ano yung pare-parehas nilang step? Number 1 is extraction. The purpose of this is to remove the lipid from the what? From the proteins. Specifically, what protein? Your VLDL. Okay? Your lipoprotein. So, organic solvents such as chloroform, your isopropanol, and your diethylene ether, okay, diethyl ether, are the one being used to remove the lipids from the VLDL. To be specific, to remove the lipids. So another step rather is your adsorption. Okay, another step in the extraction is your adsorption. The purpose of this is to remove non-triglyceride glycerol. So saan ba natin makikita yung non-triglyceride glycerol? Meron kasing glycerol found in your phospholipids, those that are free glycerol such as your monoglycerides and your diglyceride. Meaning to say, isa lang yung fatty acid niya na may glycerol at dalawang fatty acid na may glycerol pero walang phosphate kaya tinawag siyang diglycerides. Hopefully, clear pa rin tayo dyan. And other interfering substances such as glucose and bilirubin. So in your exam, if it was asked what is the purpose of adsorption during triglyceride, you know the reason. Okay? Alam nyo yung rason bakit may adsorption. Ultimately, ang in-extract natin lahat ng lipids. Pero to be honest, phospholipid is a lipid, monoglyceride and diglyceride are also lipids, and we have to remove that just to make sure na ang makukuha lang natin is only your triglyceride. So in the absorption method, okay, what we use are alumina adsorbent mixture, your zeolite, your fluorosil, and your silicic acid. Okay, we use this for adsorption. So comes after extraction. What's next? After extraction, we proceed with hydrolysis or saponification. Okay? Hydrolysis or saponification. What is the purpose of this? This is to cleave your triglyceride and your triglyceride into its component such as your fatty acid and your glycerol. Can I see on the screen how many fatty acids does a triglyceride has? How many fatty acids does your triglyceride has? Okay, ang sagot 3. Correct. The correct answer is 3. So we have 3 fatty acids and 1 glycerol molecule. So here, what we are using are alcoholic potassium hydroxide or sodium methoxide to hydrolyze your triglycerides. Okay? What's next? Okay? What's next? After extraction comes saponification. Now we have your oxidation. Okay? Your oxidation. Your oxidation converts your glycerol to its measurable compound. Okay? To its measurable compound. So we use here your oxidizing agent such as your periodic acid and your sodium periodate. Okay? Your periodic acid and your sodium periodate. So nakikita ninyo ngayon, why is it important for us to do the adsorption kanina in the first steps during the extraction? It is because we are not measuring triglyceride as an entire compound na triglyceride. We measure it as its glycerol. Okay? Mini-measure natin yung glycerol. So imagine guys, kapag nadagdag yung monoglycerides mo, yung diglyceride mo, at saka yung phospholipids mo, lahat din yun may glycerol. So ang mangyayari, they will interfere in the measurement of your triglyceride. Okay? So having said that now, okay, we will now, after oxidation, we will now perform your measurement. Okay? So in the measurement, we have your colorimetric, okay? Your colorimetric method. And if we are doing the colorimetric method, that is actually your Van Handel-Smith method. Van Handel-Zilversmith method. Okay? Van Handel-Zilversmith method. So, what you do here, it aids in the measurements by imparting color to the product oxidation. So we are making use here of colored reagents such as the following. Okay? Such as the following. So, one important thing to remember na your Hans condensation method is a fluorometric method. At ang ginagamit niya doon is yung diacyl acetone and your ammonia for your Hans condensation method. Okay? So, sir, ano po yung pinagkaiba doon sa modified? Yung modified, yun na yung nagdagdag ng adsorption. Okay? Yun na yung nagdagdag ng additional step na adsorption. Nakukuha po ako. Si Zilversmith, si Van Handel-Zilversmith at yung modified Van Handel-Zilversmith, almost the same. Sa modified, nagdagdag ka lang ng adsorption to eliminate other glycerol-containing compounds. Okay, that is for the chemical compounds. Are we clear with the chemical compound? So, remember, okay, please remember, so for those who open their PowerPoint, nandun sa notes ninyo sa PowerPoint, that for chromotrophic acid and sulfuric acid, we are measuring it between 500 to 600 nanometer. And for your Hans condensation method, we're measuring it at 412 nanometer. 412 nanometer. Okay? 412 nanometer. So moving forward, okay, kung meron kang chemical method, syempre meron ka ding enzymatic method. So what about enzymatic method? In the enzymatic method, the initial reaction is not extraction, okay? Guys, clear ako ha, yung extraction, saponification, and oxidation, chemical methods lang sila. Now, let's go to the enzymatic method. In the enzymatic method, we have an initial enzymatic reaction whereby your lipase and your glycerokinase, okay, kaya sinawag siya na glycerokinase method, will now bring forth your glycerophosphate plus your ADP. Sir, paano po na-form si glycerol? Glycerophosphate. Okay? So how was it formed? Unang-una, okay, so baka kasi malito kayo, dalawang enzyme kasi yan. One is your lipase, the other one is your alin? The other one was your, so nakikita po yung screen ko. So the first one is lipase and the other one is your glycerokinase. Okay? So glycerokinase. Si lipase mo, 'di ba yung tanong nga ni Fiestada, nandito ba si Kat? Other section si Kat, no? Si Fiestada tinanong niya, "Sir, ang lipase ba for cholesterol lang?" No. Your lipase is anything na may ester bonds. Okay? Lahat na may ester bond. So in lipase, yung triglyceride mo will be acted upon by your lipase, will now form what? It will now form your fatty acids and your glycerol. Okay? In return, this glycerol will be acted upon by your glycerokinase, okay? Forming now what we call kanina as your glycerophosphate, okay? Your glycerophosphate. Sir, saan galing si phosphate? Merong ATP dyan na naging ATP na lang. So, kinuha natin yung isang phosphate group, naging glycerophosphate. Okay? Clear ba tayo sa part na ito? So, from triglyceride na hydrolyzed ni lipase, naging fatty acid glycerol. Glycerol become glycerophosphate with the help of your glycerokinase. Okay. So, having said that now, what would happen? Ngayong meron ka ng glycerophosphate, okay? What will happen? Your glycerophosphate, okay? Your glycerophosphate will now be reacted upon by your glycerophosphate dehydrogenase and your diaphorase. Okay? Your glycerophosphate dehydrogenase and your diaphorase, and this time this will now be the one that will be measured is the absorbance of your NADH at 340 nanometer after the addition of your glycerophosphate dehydrogenase. So meaning to say, colorless ito kasi 340. And for the absorbance naman of the formazendai, so kung naglagay ka ng formazendai, you will be measuring it within 500 to 600 nanometer. Okay? 500 to 600 nanometer. So, are we clear with the enzymatic method? Hello? So, to expand it, ito yung nangyari. So, ang glycerokinase with glycerophosphate oxidase, ayan. So, we will now be measuring it within 500 to 505 nanometer. Pwede rin siya. Ayan. Kapag ang ginamit mo naman is glycerokinase with glycerophosphate oxidase. Kanina ito, guys, baka hindi nyo lang na-miss out nyo. This is glycerophosphate dehydrogenase. This is glycerophosphate oxidase and peroxidase. Okay? Pag si glycerophosphate dehydrogenase, 340 nanometer. Pag glycerophosphate oxidase and peroxidase, nandito ka kay 500 to 505 nanometer. So please take note that interference niya usually are hemoglobin and ascorbic acid. So interference of bilirubin may be minimized by the addition of your potassium ferrocyanide. Okay? Potassium ferrocyanide. So that's one. Okay? Isa pa, okay, meron pang isang combination, lipase. Nakuha nyo yung combination natin, ha? So, lipase, glycerokinase, at saka dehydrogenase. Ito, glycerokinase, saka glycerophosphate oxidase. And then, yung last natin is lipase and then glycerokinase coupled with pyruvate kinase and LDH naman. So, sir, ano pong pinagkaiba nilang lahat? Lahat sila enzymatic method. Iba-iba lang yung enzymes na ginamit. Okay? Iba-iba lang yung enzymes na ginamit nila. Are we clear? Guys, okay, wag mape-pressure dun, ha. Kasi tatlo siya, magkakaiba, pero iba-iba lang yung enzymes na ginamit. Okay? So, let's move forward. let's go now to the reference method for triglyceride measurement. The CDC recommended, the CDC reference method is your modified Van Handel-Zilversmith method. Okay? Van Handel-Zilversmith method, which has a pink color and will be measured at 500 to 600 nanometer. Again, the reference method is the modified Van Handel-Zilversmith method, yung may adsorption na step. Okay? Yung may additional na adsorption test or step. Although emerging method that will replace this particular method is your IDMS. And I think I was able to mention to you IDMS already when we discussed your cholesterol. Okay? I mean your tawag dito? IDMS in your carbohydrates. Okay? Your IDMS in your tawag doon? IDMS in your carbohydrates. So same thing with triglyceride. So what important things to remember, okay, before I move on to cholesterol is that in cases of hyperlipoproteinemia types 1, 2B, 3, 4, and 5, this is very important. This is a very important method to use kasi nga you are readily measuring your triglyceride. Okay? So these are usually seen in alcoholism, nephrotic syndrome, hyperthyroidism, and your pancreatitis. Okay? In pancreatitis. So ang gusto ko lang sabihin, increase trig sa cases na ganyan at sa alcoholism, sa nephrotic syndrome, sa hyperthyroidism, at pati sa pancreatitis. Okay? Increase triglyceride sa hyperlipoproteinemia type 1, 2B, 3, 4, and 5. Later, papakita ko sa inyo yan kasi part yan ng question dyan sa laboratory manual nyo. Yung Friedrichson classification, kung tinignan nyo na yung lab manuals ninyo. Okay? Ano naman yung instances where there is decreased triglyceride? Decreased triglyceride is observed in malabsorption syndrome, hyperthyroidism, malnutrition, and brain infarction. Sir, bakit po hyperthyroidism? Kasi increase yung metabolism kapag may hyperthyroidism. So, ibig sabihin, nababurn yung fats agad. So, what are the values to remember? Okay? Sir, do we need to remember this? Guys, lumabas na to before sa mga exams together with yung sa cholesterol din. So, ayan. So, ATP classification, less than 550 milligrams per DL, 150 to 199, 200 to 499, and then greater than 500 is very high. Sir, carbs lang po at lipids yung topic natin for semifinals. Correct. Pero kung mapapansin nyo guys, ang dami nyong aaralin. Kaya gusto ko mag-aral ng mabuti ha. And yun nga, if you ever, kung kailangan ng help, kailangan ng need, mag-message agad. Huwag nyo ako isusurprise gabi ng exam. Okay? Kung gusto nyo magpatulong, advance din dapat tayo mag-isip. Okay? Kasi wala na akong magagawa kung ini-notify nyo ko, sir, medyo nahihirapan ako sa ganitong topic. Tapos sinabi nyo yun sa akin, araw bago mag-exam, mahirapan na tayong i-correct yan. Okay? So, on November 30, I don't want to promise kasi I want to also keep November 30 for myself. Ayan, so medyo stress lang lately. So, November 30, if you want, I can open my schedule ng gabi. Pero gabi na, if ever na may mga need kayo na So, mag-usap-usap na lang muna kayo. Okay? So, triglyceride measurement methods. Ayan, triglyceride measurement methods are your chemical and your enzymatic. Okay? Clear ba tayo? Can I see a thumbs up if we're clear? Ayan. I know you've been in your classes since this morning, but hopefully we'll get through this. Okay? So, having said that now, Okay, having said that now, let's go to total cholesterol. The total cholesterol, it's gonna be another discussion. So, chemical method. So, in the chemical method for your cholesterol measurement, the principle is the dehydration and oxidation of cholesterol to form a colored compound. Okay? So, we have different methods. Ayan, we have different methods and they have different procedure ranging from a one step to your four step. Okay? Your na four step na procedure. Okay? So we have your Pearson Stern McGavock. That is the one step. Okay? The two step is your Blewers. Paano ko tatandaan yung Blewers, sir? Yung Blewers. Yung Blewers, dalawa yung O. Two. Blewers, two step. Colorimetric extraction. Okay? Si Abel Kendall. Okay, sir, hindi ko na mamememorize si Abel Kendall. Paano ko po mamememorize si Abel Kendall? Si Abel, okay? Si Abel Kendall. Okay, iniisip ko din paano ko sasabihin, paano nyo i-memorize. Pero lakihan nyo na lang yung sulat kay letter B, kay Abel Kendall. Abel Kendall, 3-step. Okay? Maipilit lang. So, meron pa the next one is the 4-step naman. Your Schonheimer, Sperry, Parekh, and Jung. Okay? Sir, paano ko mamememorize? Ba't yung pinakamahaba? Yun din yung pinakamahabang step. Okay? So, those are the steps. So, colorimetry, extraction, saponification, and precipitation. Okay? So, let's start and let's start and discuss the different steps. The first step is your extraction. Okay? The first step is your extraction. So, cholesterol is still separated also from your protein. What carrier protein? Your LDL, your HDL, and your free cholesterol. So overall, your cholesterol is separated from your protein, and then your Blewers reagent, okay, which is ethanol and ether combined with a 3:1 ratio, can be used to extract your cholesterol. You can also use chloroform or your hexane, and then you can also perform additional absorption using your to extract all cholesterol using your zeolite. Okay? Your zeolite. So after extraction, saponification tayo. What do we do with saponification? In the saponification or hydrolysis, what we try to do is the cholesterol esters are hydrolyzed to become free cholesterol. Okay? So free cholesterol na sila and your fatty acid. So inalis natin si fatty acid. So you can do that using alcoholic potassium hydroxide. Okay? Alcoholic potassium hydroxide. So tapos ka na mag-extract, mag-saponification. What's next? Your purification. Okay? In your purification, this is the precipitation step. Okay? Ang purpose natin is to precipitate the free cholesterol and remove non-specific interferences. Reagents such as digitonin, okay? Reagents such as digitonin are being used to purify the sample. Measurement of cholesterol before and after digitonin treatment to determine the cholesterol fraction. Okay? So, digitonin for the purification. And last step, of course, lagi niyong tatandaan, babalik tayo kay colorimetry. Sino si colorimetry, guys? Para saan si colorimetry? Yun ay sa pamamagitan ni spectrophotometer. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo, mamahalin nyo sa spectro eh. So, that is the colorimetry. Okay? So, color development will be measured spectrophotometrically. Okay? So, having said that now, sir, yun po ba yung dalawang method? Okay? Yun po ba yung dalawang method? So, kung mapapansin ninyo, the methods were classified according to the procedure. But ultimately, we also will be doing your colorimetric method, such as your Lieberman-Burchard method and your Salkowski method. Okay? Your Lieberman-Burchard method and your Salkowski method. So in your Lieberman-Burchard, you are using your acetic anhydride and your sulfuric acid. And then what you will be measuring is a green byproduct to be measured at 410 nanometer to 220 nanometer. The same thing is true with Salkowski. Ang problem lang, iba lang yung color ni Salkowski. In Salkowski, we are measuring it, okay? We are measuring it using your, we are measuring a red color product, okay? We are measuring a red color product. So, yun tayo ha, pagdating sa, what do you call this? Pagdating sa measurement. Okay? Lieberman, Burchard, and Salkowski. Sir, para saan pa po yung first step, yung fourth step na ginawa natin? Remember, iba pa yung extraction, yung saponification, and then meron pa po tayong meron pa po tayong purification or precipitation. All of those are for us to be able to extract or to recover only your cholesterol. Okay? Para matanggal natin si cholesterol. Clear ba ako? Hello? Para ma-extract natin si cholesterol. Okay? So, it's...
Sir? Sir? Question ko po agad. Para sa ano po yung dalawa na yan? Medyo nag-choppy po kasi. Yung Lieberman-Burchard.
Okay. The Lieberman-Burchard and Salkowski is the yung colorimetric method na specifically. Okay? The method that we are using for your remember si asan ba 'yon? Remember si Pearson, Stern, McGavock na method. Colorimetric method lang 'yun eh. Ayan, one step lang, colorimetry. So ang two types niya is your Lieberman-Burchard and your Salkowski. Okay? So ang pinagkaiba ni Lieberman-Burchard and Salkowski obviously sa color and sa reagent. Okay? Ayun lang. So that is for your total cholesterol. So here meron pang we are kung mapapansin ninyo, we are using a color developer such as your glacial acetic acid, acetic anhydride, or sulfuric acid. So kung makikita mo, anyan siya. Acetic anhydride kapag Lieberman, sulfuric acid kapag Salkowski. Okay? Color developers natin. So, are we clear so far with the cholesterol? So, let me just try to finish things up kasi it's already 6 o'clock. Okay, it's already 6 o'clock. So, for total cholesterol, ayan, so other precautions lang, avoid hemolyze sample, so falsely high result bakit falsely high result? Remember, your blood cells has cholesterol in the cell membrane. So, masasama yon sa measurement. Avoid icteric, ayan, 5 to 6 milligrams % increase in your cholesterol per milligram of bilirubin above normal. So avoid water contamination and have for precise and accurate timing. So yan ay para sa ating chemical method. Okay? We have your Lieberman-Burchard and your Salkowski. And let's move on now to your enzymatic method. Okay? Syempre, meron ding enzymatic method pagdating kay cholesterol. Okay? So when we are measuring your cholesterol this time, okay? When we are trying to measure your cholesterol this time using enzymatic method, we can make use of your spectrophotometric method. In the spectrophotometric method, anong ginagawa natin? Okay? Anong ginagawa natin pagdating sa enzymatic method? We're using cholesterol esters, ayan, cholesterol oxidase, peroxidase, phenol, and 4-nitro 4-amino antipyrine. Okay? 4-amino antipyrine. So currently, okay, this is the most common method being used, okay? Yung cholesterol oxidase. So cholesterol oxidase is the most common na ginagamit na enzymatic method, okay? Enzymatic method. So kung mapapansin nyo, the chemical method is cumbersome. So in the laboratory, what we are using currently is your enzymatic method. So what happened is that una mong gagawin is to first hydrolyze the ester bond in your cholesterol esters. So hydrolyze the ester bonds, and then you will now be reacting the free cholesterol with cholesterol oxidase. Okay? With cholesterol oxidase. And eventually, the byproduct will be a quinone amine dye that can be measured at 500 nanometer. Okay? At 500 nanometer. So, that is one for enzymatic method, spectrophotometrically being measured. Okay? Spectrophotometrically being measured. Aside from that, I don't know if you still remember, but I hope you do. Isn't it in carbohydrates, we have a polarographic method. Nang mini-measure natin is yung oxygen depletion. We also have a similar one. Okay? We also have a similar one for your cholesterol. Oxygen consumption then. So, we have here your H2O2 electrode, and then the oxygen release will be measured. Okay? So, kapag nag-act-upan yung glucose, yung cholesterol oxidase, nagdi-deplete yung oxygen. So, yun yung mini-measure niya. The depletion in oxygen is directly proportional to the levels din ng ating cholesterol. Okay? Level ng ating cholesterol. So, are we clear? Clear ba tayo? Merong spectrophotometric at meron din oxygen consumption method. Are we clear? Can I see a raise of hands if we're clear? Okay, thank you so much, guys. Ayan, so lastly, okay, for cholesterol, we have the reference method. Okay, we have the reference method, which is, okay, we have a reference method which is Abel, Levy, and Brody. Okay, Abel, Levy, and Brody. This time, you are performing extraction, hydrolysis as well, and then eventually you will be treating it with a Lieberman-Burchard reagent. Nakukuha po ako. So nag-extract ka using hexane, nag-hydrolyze ka or saponification ka using your potassium hydroxide. The extract was dried in a vacuum, and then eventually you acted it upon with Lieberman-Burchard reagent. Therefore, you were able to measure it at 620 nanometer after 30 minutes. And this is the reference method for the cholesterol measurement. The reference method for triglyceride is the modified Van Handel-Zilversmith method, and the reference method for the total cholesterol is your Abel, Levy, and Brody, your ALB. Okay? So, having said that, are we clear? Do we have any questions? So, iano ko lang ha. Right now, I'm on the 30 second over 45 na slide. I will have some methods pa in the measurement of phospholipid and fatty acid, but for the sake of time, I will be including this on Thursday na lang. So, total cholesterol, okay, always remember that increased levels of total cholesterol are observed in hyperlipoproteinemia type 2, 3, and 5. Mamaya explain ko sa inyo, sir, bakit ano ba yung mga pinagsasabi mong type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Parang natatandaan yung glycogen storage disease natin, yung type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, ganon. May ganon ding counterpart si lipid diseases. So, So these are the diseases whereby there's increased cholesterol, and this one here below are the conditions with decreased levels of cholesterol. Okay? Overall, I want you to remember this, guys, that in ATP, okay, ito yung desirable, below high, and high. So, desirable natin is less than 200. Yung below high natin is 200 to 239. And the high cholesterol levels, according to the ATP classification, is greater than 240 milligrams per deciliter of cholesterol. So, kung kukunin mo yung laboratory result ng parents mo ngayon, makikita mo kung nasaan, anong part sila ng cholesterol level. Desirable ba, below high, or high? Okay? So, aside from that, reference range natin, 150 to 250. Sabi mo, sir, 250 pero high na yan. Okay? Again, in some laboratories, it vary. Sir, ano po yung conversion factor? Bakit po may 0.026 ka dyan? Ang ano niyan, conversion factor yan. So if you're gonna multiply 150, okay, 150 times 0.026, ang makukuha mo is itong 3.9 or 3.88. Okay? Nakukuha ba ako? So conversion factor yan from milligrams to deciliter papuntang millimoles per liter. Okay? Sir, ganun ka ba kasama at ilalagay mo yan sa exam? Hindi naman. Okay? But what I want you to remember is the ATP classification. Okay? ATP classification, yung desirable, below high, high. Dagdag pa natin sa normal, impaired glucose tolerance, impaired fasting glucose, at pre-diabetes. Okay? So, alam ko, sabi ko, dami-dami, pero those are very important. And eventually, marirealize yung importance yan when you are already when you are already doing case study and even dealing with real patients in the real life. So, overall, everyone, so, for the phospholipids, andyan naman na siya sa notes ninyo. So, ganun din. In the phospholipid, we have the chemical one. We have extraction, oxidation. So, kung mapapansin nyo, laging may extraction, oxidation, mga ganyang mga process for us to recover the phospholipid that we want to measure. Okay? And here, the reagent here is your molybdate. Okay? Your molybdate. So, again, sabi ko nga sa inyo, I think I mentioned it before nung nandun tayo sa HEMA na what are the three analytes increased when using iodine? Ano yung iodine? PUK. Ano yung PUK? Phosphorus, uric acid, and potassium. Okay? Yung phosphorus natin, sabi ko nga, di ba, total phosphorus times 25 is equal to the phospholipid mass. Kasi most of your phosphorus are in the form of phosphate inside your body. Okay? So, ayan. So, that is for the chemical method. For the enzymatic method ng phospholipid, we use the phospholipase D. So, kung makikita nyo, phospholipase D, choline oxidase, and peroxidase. And then you will be measuring it at 500 nanometer. Okay? So, you are using coupled enzymes. Pag sinabi kong coupled enzymes, more than one enzyme. Okay? So, reference range and conversion factor. And last but not the least, bago nyo ako isumpa, is the fatty acid measurement. Fatty acid, again, extraction, purification, and then titration with your thymolphtalin as your indicator. Okay? And then your reagent, of course, titration to. Nag-titrate ba kayo noong unang panahon? So, ano yung dapat natin? Ano yung end color natin? Light pink. Saan si salmon? Salmon pink. Saan si salmon pink? Salmon pink is for your red blood cells. Okay? So, you dilute it during titration with your sodium hydroxide and then thymolphtalin as your indicator. Okay? So, Ito guys, meron pa. Ayan, identification ng lipoproteins. But I will be discussing this on Thursday together with the abnormal lipoproteins. Okay? Together with the abnormal lipoproteins. So with that, I'll be ending the recording, although I was not able to